Hello friends, today we are going to learn about ear. Ear is broadly three parts, that is external ear, middle ear and internal ear. So external ear has again two parts. The outer larger part, this one is known as auricle or pinna. In the center of auricle there is one canal that is also known as external auditory canal. So external ear is divided in two parts, outer larger flap like part that is auricle, and in the center a canal that is called external auditory canal. It ends at the tympanic membrane of middle ear. This external auditory canal falls under this plate of bone above that is forming the roof. This plate of bone is known as tegmen tympani, which is petrous part of temporal bone. In the floor, you will find two bony elevation. One is called mastoid process. One is called styloid process. Okay, they are a little bit away from this area. Okay. Now, if we divide various areas of auricle, then we have some terminologies. Try to remember. This convex larger outer border is called helix. Similar border inside, that is called antihelix. Helix and antihelix. This antihelix is dividing upwards in two different crusts, this one and this one. So together they are known as crura of the helix or crus of the helix. Between these two crura there is one triangular area that's called triangular fossa. Between helix and antihelix we have another fossa that is called scaphoid fossa. Now this helix has two different limbs. This one is anterior limb and this one is posterior limb. Ideally they should be called lips, but they have used the term limb, so we will call it limbs. Anterior limb of helix, posterior limb of helix, anterior crus of antihelix, posterior crus of antihelix. Now in the center we have one depression and one elevation. So this elevation is known as concha, this depression is known as cymba concha. Now this concha, if you see this from the medial surface, that is behind this, so it will produce another elevation that is called eminentia concha. This triangular fossa, if you see this again in medial surface, behind this it is producing elevation that is called eminentia triangularis. These words are given in the description, you can refer. Now in the anterior margin of this external acoustic meatus or external auditory meatus, there is one flap like cartilage that is called tragus. Similar flap like cartilage on this area is called antitragus. Now fibrofatty tissue, soft tissue at the end of this whole structure is called lobule. Traditionally this lobule is pierced in the females as part of ornament. Uh, this triangular fossa, sorry, this concha, if you see this concha, if you drill below this area, you will find a triangular structure in the bones that is called suprameatal triangle. It is also known as McEwan's triangle. It corresponds to the Simba concha. If you drill in this triangular area, you will enter in the mastoid air cells that we will learn in the middle ear cavity. So if you carefully see the boundaries in the demonstration classes, so this triangular area that is called suprameatal triangle or McEwan's triangle, it is above this external acoustic meatus. So to learn the boundaries, you should remember two things. This one is supramastoid crest, and this one is posterior superior margin of external acoustic meatus. Now, if you combine these two, a vertical tangent, it will intersect to the supramastoid crest. So this triangle is formed by supramastoid crest, posterior superior margin of external acoustic meatus, and a vertical tangent from this margin to this crest. This is known as McEwan's triangle. Now there are some rudimentary muscles attached to this pinna. You should just remember the names. They are rudimentary in the humans, but they are very useful in the lower animals, that is quadrupeds. These muscles are used in quadrupeds for movements of pinna and the changing the shape of the pinna. So the muscles are auricularis superior, auricularis posterior, and auricularis anterior. That is seen in another section. A few more minor muscles, that is helicis minor, antitrachea and trachea. This is dorsal view or medial view of the pinna. You can see these muscles, auricularis superior, anterior and posterior. The function of external acoustic meatus is to support the shape of the ear, and in lower animals it is also useful in movements, and in humans it supports spectacles and it supports. There is one genetic point, expression of Y-linked inheritance, that is hairy pinna. Because it is Y-linked, it is transmitted only to the male to male and it is never transmitted in females. So only males in their later age, old age, they will exhibit this hair growth on the border of the pinna. That is Y-linked inheritance. Blood supply of the pinna, you know, from the down there is external carotid artery, inferior surface. It divides in so many branches. You can learn the branches in another chapter. So from these branches we have two branches, that is superficial temporal and posterior auricular. These two branches will bifurcate, ramify and supply various parts of the pinna. Venous drainage is external jugular veins and superficial temporal veins. Similarly, we have lymph nodes, that is preauricular, mastoid and upper deep cervical. Nerve supply of pinna, we have sensory and motor supply. In motor supply, it is supplied to the muscles, rudimentary muscles of the pinna, that is auricularis, three groups. They are branches of facial nerve, posterior auricular branch and auricular branch of the facial nerve. Sensory supply is, they are branches of cervical plexus. If you remember the branches, lesser occipital, great auricular, transverse cervical and supraclavicular. These are the four branches of cervical plexus. Out of these, the first two branches, lesser occipital and great auricular, will go behind and it will supply dorsal part of the pinna. And on lateral surface of the pinna, we have three different branches, few rami from the great auricular nerve, and two another nerves, that is auricular branch of vagus nerve, that is supplies central part of the pinna, and auriculotemporal branch of the vagus nerve, that will supply upper part and rest of the parts. This auriculotemporal branch is also known as Arnold's nerve or Alderman's nerve. The description is given in the text. Now we will see tympanic membrane in another video.